morning, you're watching Dukascopy TV. I'm Elaine, Stenson, and I'm joined in the studio now by Jean-Pierre Diserens, Secretary General of the CIFA. Jean-Pierre, you're very welcome. Now, can you start by telling me what is the Convention of International Financial Advisors and how does it work?
Convention of Independent Financial Advisors is a non-for-profit foundation and also a non-governmental organization with special consultative status with the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations in New York.
And why did you feel it was necessary?
Well, we created this foundation in 2001 because we felt that it was important to protect the investor's interest as well as the profession of IFAs.
What are the main challenges for the financial system at the moment?
At the moment, we feel, and that's why we're active with the United Nations, where we have deposited the Charter of Investors' Rights. We feel that right now in the financial turmoil and the financial crises and the mess in which most countries have gotten themselves by misspending the taxpayers' money, the investor needs a special protection before the greedy governments are going to expropriate him.
And what's a typical example of challenges that may face investors?
If you look at the latest news, what happened in Cyprus is significant as far as how the European Union or other countries could behave with the investors' money. It is considering these people as not very serious and then justifying an expropriation just to cover expenses that these countries have gotten themselves into it without much thinking about what and how they're going to cover their expenses.
And why do you think that the government has this disregard for investors?
Because right now there's a chasing, we had a witch hunt in Europe and now it's the rich hunt. So we have to be very careful what is going on nowadays. Showing rich people as people who exploit the poor is a significant way for governments to try to put the responsibility of the mess they created onto people who have worked hard and have saved and have been responsible and are the motors of the economy. And these people deserve protection. They do not deserve to be blamed for any economic problem right now. It's the contrary. They're at the origin of creating wealth, they are creating added value, and they're creating jobs. It's not the European Union and its armada of civil servants that is creating jobs nowadays.
Okay, and if an investor has a grievance, what should they do? If they have a problem and they're thinking, I need to get in touch with somebody about this, I need advice, I need help.
That's why we are the independent financial advisors. IFAs, independent financial advisors, do defend the interest of their clients. We do not defend primarily the interest of any specific financial group or lobby, so that we represent ourselves as the lobby within the United Nations that is defending directly our clients, which are their direct investors, and who are ultimately the victims, because whatever happens in this world, who is going to pay for the damage caused by the governments? It's going to be ultimately the investor, and these are our clients, and we want to give them some voice and protect them.
And does the financial system need to be overhauled and reformed?
Yes. The answer is yes, definitely. Now, in what form does it have to be overhauled? We come to the conclusion that the new financial systems will be very different from what we have now. But as you know, when somebody is holding the power, it's very difficult for them to give it up. And the way the transitions usually happen are very unpleasant. And we have to see, don't forget that what we saw for the first time in 2008 when the financial system collapsed has not been solved. Instead of reducing sovereign debt since 2008 has been increased. The subprime crisis was just a drop in the bucket that started something, but the big problem right now is sovereign debt, and solving sovereign debt as the European Union or Mr. Bernanke are doing right now by adding sovereign debt is a way to temporarily kick the can down the road, as we say, but in the long run there will be a problem. And the problem is the loss of value of the money that people print left and right.
Okay. And do you think that quantitative easing has contributed to the loss of value of money?
Well, not yet. Not yet. The question is, when will it? You know, what we are right now, I'm not saying Mr. Bernanke did the wrong thing. No, I think he definitely, over the last 5 years, has been able to avoid significant crises like what happened in the 30s in the United States. Now, but at what time will everything catch up? That we don't know. And that's where the investor has to protect himself so that when the catching up takes place, they will be protected, and they will be able to protect their real assets and not be expropriated.
Okay. And what has been the response so far to the CIFA?
Well, the CIFA is ultimately it's a federation of associations, and we federate about 70 national association or international federations worldwide. We are active on all continents, and the total amount of IFAs represented by the partner associations is approximately 1 million worldwide.
How are you ensuring that countries will sign on?
Okay, that is the charter. Well,
yeah.
That is a long process, and we have started that process with the United Nations. It is, I believe that a lot of countries will be interested in signing on. Maybe now the crisis is not yet in the right situation, okay, but definitely the investors' protection needs to be implemented more strongly, because we have seen what the European Union did in Cyprus, and to us this is not acceptable.
And when do you think this crisis will be completely over?
Well, you know, the crisis that started in 1929 and is called the Great Depression ended in 1954. So if we consider that this crisis started in 2008, I will probably never see the end of this one.
Jean-Pierre, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
And that's all we have time for now, but do check back later for further updates and interviews from the Dukascopy TV team. Bye for now.